Alright, so this is the next pack that I'm going to look at. This is the kitchen pack. Excuse me, just drink some Pepsi. Alright, so this is the kitchen pack. Not sure the exact name, by Frost River. And another Pyragus liner. Inside of this still there is some rations that's going to be held in addition to this here. So roughly I'd say 2 weeks worth of rations in here, but it's not strictly based on that 2 weeks, because there is certain things that are going to be used for longer than 2 weeks, and but they're just going to be kept in there for access. Alright, so in addition to that food in there, there is at the front here, I wasn't going to bring any foil initially, but a buddy of mine talked me into it, so some aluminum foil, quart size and gallon size freezer bags. I'm not sure, I probably have too much there, but if so, I could just give them to my outfitter when I get a resupply and adjust after 6 weeks there. Package of garbage bags, again, might have too many, resupply, we'll adjust there. Lighters, matches, cigars, you know, got a little. I have an insulated cup and a non-insulated cup, as well as an extra Nalgene. 2 fuel bottles, a 30 ounce and a 20 ounce. In addition to those, I'm planning on bringing along a full gallon, so that should give me 178 ounces. I'm going to be up there for 42 days, roughly, for the 6 weeks. So math-wise, it comes out to around 4 ounces a day. That's what I was kind of targeting, but had to fit it within my constraints. And I can adjust that as needed when I meet with my outfitter. For instance, I'm losing some time here, so I may not even need to bring 20 ounces in that bottle there, due to the late ice out. Anyways, in addition to that, I have this garbage sack here from Seal Line. It's not going to be inside of the kitchen pack. Once it starts having trash in it, it's going to be hung on the outside, but for now there's nothing in it. These are Streamside, I think is the manufacturer. Either way, they're just kind of like alumina or steel or aluminum, titanium, whatever material tubes, rods that can be used for grilling. Those are going to be stored not in this kitchen pack due to their length. They're going to be stored in with the camera tripod. Alright, in addition to that, I have Castile soap and a cheese grater. So the cheese grater is going to be used to shave off some soap to use for laundry and dishes. The other bar is for body. Assorted rags here, sponges, a chain cleaner. So it's basically a square piece of chainmail, which can then be used to clean cast iron. So this is not cast iron, this is cast steel. I don't remember the exact company that I bought this from, some outdoor store. I'll have to put the link sometime if I remember. But either way, very lightweight, cast steel. It has high walls, so it can be used for baking if you want to do bannock or something along those lines. And I just have a Primus clip here. They do make one that has a fixed handle. However, it has different dimensions, and I like the removable handles. It makes it more packable. But it is one more thing to lose. And then I just have this pair of jeans here that I modified to be able to hold this. Additionally, it will hold this Primus plate. It kind of sits in the top there. But really, I wanted something to contain this in case I'm cooking over an open fire, so I don't get soot all over my pack. For the stove, MSR Dragonfly. I've used those quite a bit in the past for group trips. I really like them. Good flame control. It's a little bit large for a solo, but I like the broad base that it provides for pot stability. And the flame control is very nice. As far as a large cooking pot, I have this here from Solo Stove. It's quite convenient how things fit into this Solo Stove. The bowl, Primus bowl here, can fit at the very bottom. And then the windscreens here can fit along the sides. And then the Dragonfly kind of drops right in there. And then the lid goes on top, and then it goes into the bag and it holds it all together. But I have windscreens here, 2 sets of the top, or the walls and the bottoms. This here is from Flat Cat, I believe is the name of the company, but they make baking supplies for camping, and this is also from them. So this is a baking tin. This is a heat shield, so you basically put this on top of the pot and it helps retain heat. And this is a baking vessel which goes inside of this Titan pot by MSR. So basically it nests inside of there. You'll prop it up on a piece of aluminum, a couple of balls of aluminum foil or something like that, with a little bit of water on the bottom, and then you'll put your dough on the inside, and it creates almost like an oven. And then these are just parchment paper to prevent dough from sticking to the baking vessel here. So primarily I'll be using this to heat water for coffee, tea, stuff like that. Within this larger pot will be more for boiling larger quantities, or if I wanted to actually cook in my pot, I would cook in this pot. This one I'll be maybe keeping it clean, only using it over the stove because it is titanium. In titanium you don't really want to have it over an uncontrolled open flame like a fire. Uncontrolled. So these things kind of all nest into this here, which is a, I don't recall the exact name of the device, but basically a heat retainer made by CCS, Custom Sewing. And then all of it kind of goes into this here as well, just for some added protection and to keep stuff together. And this is just a personal effects bag that I got from when I was a medic in the Army. And then a hard-sided bowl here, mainly for doing dishes and stuff like that, or if I want to knead some dough. It's nice to have just the rigid walls there. But in addition, I do have a collapsible sink here, and also a collapsible 1 liter pail for gathering water. Just an extra container here. I'm going to have another one of those from a ice cream that I have to clean out. A couple of these MSR coffee mates, or whatever they're called. They're not the easiest thing to find these days. Really inexpensive, lightweight. They make a decent cup of coffee. And then this here for tea. Just a couple of spoons, a spoon and a fork. I didn't want to go with some ultralight plastic spork thing. I have one of those as a spare somewhere in a pack, but for 5 months I want to have some real silverware. And then just a Primus flipper and Primus tongs. A little straw here to use as a bellows if needed. This here is the coffee grinder that I'll be using, made by Snow Peaks. I absolutely love this thing. I've used it at home quite a bit actually since I've had it. It makes a really good grind. Basically you just load beans in the top, you grind, and then your grounds are on the bottom here. Folds up really conveniently. It goes in this little pack that it comes with. And then just a couple of measuring cups and a teaspoon. So that is, oh, almost forgot this here, a Little Bug stick stove. Now, and yet all of this here, with the exception of the fuel bottles and this stuff here, but the majority of this stuff is all fitting into these. And that is my cook set. Addendum. There's also a Packers grill and those aluminum or whatever they were, titanium tubes that are used for grilling. They're produced by Purcell Trench, made out of Addy, Washington. So that's that. And also, this is for like grilling fish and stuff like that. That's really why I really didn't need to bring along aluminum foil. And also, there are these Army-style duffel bags. So this is the remainder of a 6 weeks supply of rations. So roughly 2 weeks in the cook pack, and then the other 4 in this here. So when I get resupplies, I have 3 resupplies planned, 1 every 6 weeks. I'll get another one of these duffel bags full of food, and also a box accompanying it which contains the food which will go into the kitchen pack.